What's up, my peoples? Let's talk. Tonight was the season finale of True Blood. Now, I'm conflicted on this episode. One thing I liked about it was it played out like two different episodes. It played out as season finale for 30 minutes, and then for the next 30 minutes, it's played out like a season premiere. Okay, so that's interesting. However, let's start with the worst part for me. When it started with Warlow and Suki, or Suki going back to Warlow, he was making this tree or this love flower thing, and my first thought was, God, he is so gay. Like, you're so gay. Which I'm using it negatively, but that's not what I mean. But like, he's so romantic, and I was thinking, it's like, God, grow some fucking balls, please, right? So she goes into the whole thing. She's like, I don't know. I did my thing. You did your thing for me. You helped me out, but I don't think. Let's just go on a date. And he was like, bitch, I don't want to go on no date. We married. We in love now. And she was like, oh, I have made a mistake. So at this point, I'm like, okay, finally, Warlow's showing some balls. He's going to be crazy next season. He's just going to be on the warpath. There's going to be nothing they can do. They're going to have to find a way to stop him. He's just going to be... It's about time. He's 5,500 years old. Show some balls. And it seemed to be going that way. And then everybody came in and saved her. And like... The one big surprise, good surprise about it was Grandpa Niall, or whatever his name was, came in and he grabbed Warlow at the right time to save Suki. He stabbed him. I didn't think that would work, but it did, and it saved her life. Whoopity-doo. Suki lives to be enslaved by some other vampire another day. Right? So that's that. When he dies, his blood that's in everybody else leaves, so they can't stay in the sunlight anymore, right? Now, nobody feels this happen as greatly as poor Eric. Eric is sunbathing in the ice mountains of Sweden or something like that, and when he loses his sun powers or whatever, and he burns to a crisp. Now, is Eric dead? Of course not. They want you to believe Eric is dead, but Eric is not dead. Eric is too viable of a character to die. So he'll be back. A lot of stuff happens. Sarah Newland's gone. That bitch will be back too. There's no way she couldn't. When you let somebody like that go and you like, I can't do it, it always comes back to bite you. And it's going to come back. So, like, I'm talking and I'm just trying to get what I want to say across, and I'm thinking of other stuff. But anyway, so that's happening. Everybody's rallying to save Suki. They save her. Alcide is like nice again. He's not a dick because the tribe or hound dog group or whatever the fuck you want to go, pack. The pack. They're gone. They're not in his life anymore, so he's back to being good. So that kind of wraps up that first half. Though you can see, like in the beginning, that I said this a long time ago. When that chick told Suki brother that told Jason that he's hers now, she meant that shit. Okay, she was ready to break Suki's neck when she saw her. Cause she was like, well, who the fuck is this bitch? Right? So this all happens. She sees her and she explains, oh, this is her sister or whatever. And then she kisses her on the mouth like they make out or whatever. And she's like, you're my sister now too. Let me stick my tongue directly into your throat hole. And that's what happened. And it's kind of hot. So basically that all wraps up that first 30 minutes. And I'm thinking like, holy shit, it must be like the show's about to go off, because I got lost in what time it was. So when this all happened, it ended with Eric being burnt up, and I thought, oh shit, it's over already. That was quick. I checked the time, I had 30 minutes left. So that happened, and they jumped 6 months into the future. Oh, let me say this too. Bill lost his powers, like I said last week. I mean, you get all that blood sucked out of you, I'm sure Lilith's blood is going to get sucked out too. So he's back to being that. In a world of that, in a world of that, he's about that. He's 150 years old. Not even the oldest vampire in the room anymore. So we go to the skip to the future. He's on TV. He's promoting his book called God Bled or something like that. And he's talking about his old experience. He admits to ripping the guy's head off with one tooth on TV. And it was great. But I gotta admit, the whole time watching that, all I could think was, damn it. Come on, Russell. Come out of nowhere and gut this motherfucker on TV, please. Please, just come in, and I want to hear the speech again where he's like, garish McMansions, and you know, we're going to eat you. You know, all that. Tiffany, I love that shit. That shit is hilarious to me. So they're talking about this whole thing, you know, about what's happening in the future. They go to the future. Apparently, there are packs of diseased vampires wiping out small towns, and they come up with a plan to stop them. Sam Merlot is mayor. What the fuck? Really? He's mayor? Okay, fine. Sam's mayor. Merlot's is no longer Merlot's. It is now Bellflower Barbecue or some crap like that. So that tells you what happens with Arlene's storyline. Apparently, she gets a store or gets a restaurant. Woo! And the thrill ride never ends for her. Anyway, so Sookie's with Alcide. They're dating. Can you just date a human? Can you try to date somebody that doesn't turn into anything? You know, how about you try that? You know, you go on a date with a guy and maybe he has a reflection, or he doesn't turn into a dog, you know, and it doesn't shoot light from his hands. Maybe you try something like that. That'd be cool. So that happens. They're at church, and now this is a small town, so obviously they have the black church and the white church, whatever. They integrate for one day, it seems like, or the beginning of whatever it's going to be is going to be integration. So they go to the church and they're having this meeting, and they call up the mayor, Sam Merlot. Sam comes up there and says, hey, we're having this big barbecue down at Bellflower's Barbecue. Why don't you come on down? We're going to let some vampires bite you. And everybody was like, what? But him and Bill came up with a plan. Look, you need to be protected. If these vampires come to our small town, which is obviously a hotbed of action and death and blood and weirdness, you need to have a vampire to protect you. So you need to come, they protect you, you let them feed on you every once in a while. You know, quid pro quo, that sort of thing. So that's happening. And people are like, no, we're not going to do that. But then he was like, the food's free. And they were like, well, we could talk about it. Maybe, you know, we come down there and see what happens. But I'm not promising nothing. So it's just everything's happening. And they're at the party. And Tara mom comes up to her and like, Tara? Because she called it Tara. There's no R in there. Tara, I need to talk to you, Tara. And I knew what she wanted immediately, because like, your husband signed off on it. Your preacher husband said, yeah, we need to get protection and feed somebody. You know, let's do it. So she gets into this whole speech about, I didn't feed you when you was a baby. I forgot. I didn't take care of you. Let me feed you now. Which, with what ensued after that, was one of the creepiest moments in True Blood history. I mean, it was right up there when Bill was having sex with his maker and he twisted her neck around, like right as he climaxed, he like took her head and spent it. It was weird like that. Like, cause she was hugging and crying and sucking her mama blood, and her mama was in a bra, and she don't have the body for a bra. So it was weird. On the whole, it was They didn't show what happened to Eric. Pam left to go find Eric before the time jump, so who knows where she is. And it basically ends with Bill telling Sookie that she needs a vampire, and he'll do it because he's changed, and he need, you know, of all people, you need a vampire protector, and frankly, so does Andy's daughter, which Jessica stepped up to do the job, and I don't think Andy's too happy about that since she killed his 3 other daughters. Anyway, it ends with a pack of sickly, bloody, monstrous vampires stricken with disease coming into town. And I think on the overall, it's 50-50 for me. I liked it because, you know, the first part was action-packed. And the second part gave information that, you know, set up for the next season. But Warlow was a massive disappointment to me. Massive. You're 5,500 years old, the second oldest vampire, which I have some questions about now that I think about it. Because that would imply that the world is roughly a little older than 5,000 years. If God created man, well, God created Lilith first, right? He created human first, or Lilith first, then he created man. And then her first progeny is somebody that's only 5,000 years old. That's weird. Anyway, I'm getting off. I'm already at 11 minutes. I apologize. Guys, see you next year on this. If you guys watch True Blood reviews, see you next year. I'll talk about it again. I haven't decided what my next shows are going to be. So if you have any ideas, any comments, put it below. Like,